I read the script, knowing that Marjane was going to direct it, so that was a big attraction. I think she's brilliant, and I've followed her since, well, her illustration work, and Persepolis, and then I read the script and thought, it's brilliant. It's so original. I was quite refreshed to read something like that, which was so unforgiving in its endeavours and its subject matter, and had an insight. I don't want to kind of give too much away, but I think it's quite, as much as it's funny and shocking and dark, and it's also very sort of touching and has a message, and yeah, I just thought it so out there and different, and I wanted to do something that was kind of unique. Yeah, it was also a bit of a reaction to what I had been doing. I'd sort of grown a bit jaded, I guess, with the whole movie industry, and being let down by, thinking about doing certain films that you think are going to be one thing, and then you see them 2 years later and they're totally different. And I just thought, oh, I want to do something which already has its identity in the script, and that's the thing with this script. The script was so good that you couldn't change it, and that's what often happens in movies. They get changed. The script gets changed. The script actually means nothing often, and this script was gold, so we couldn't do that. And Michael, the writer, was on set a lot and worked really closely with Marjane, and it just felt right. And it's quite a European thing as well, I think. Marjane, obviously, she lives in Paris and has made French films in the French language. And actually, in French cinema, the director is often the writer, and so the script is really important. And I think in American cinema, often the script gets sort of sidetracked, and that's very had been frustrating for me. So I wanted to find a script where I knew it was solid and wasn't going to get trampled on. Yes. It's hard to talk about it because I don't want to go into too much detail. But yeah, it's very touching actually, and I have in my family I have a history of mental health problems, and so I found that a very sort of delicate. It's actually quite beautiful in a very weird way. The message is quite beautiful at the end, and hopeful, and hopefully the audience will leave the cinema thinking differently about mental health, and that it is an illness and not a choice. And yes, that's what the ultimate message is, I think, of this movie. But it's obviously done in such a it's displayed in quite extreme ways. But the final sort of montage, which was Marjane's idea, actually, she designed this sort of musical comedy element to the end, and I think it's really, that's what makes the film actually, and elevates it to a place of sort of hope and beauty. So yeah, that definitely attracted me to it, and I think, gosh, it must have been such an attractive role to Ryan as well, for that, to play someone so confused and conflicted and helpless, with his mental condition. He has no control over it. It is how he is, and that's what the film's about. Is about who he actually is and the way he thinks. It's rather beautiful, but anyway, quite controversial as well. Yeah. I remember the first time I saw a cut of this movie. It was around Marjane's house, and she said, "Just come over and watch it." And it's so convincing. I mean, there is no CGI on my talking head. It is what it is. It's just, it is rather bizarre to see yourself in that way. It's a good sign of a film when you forget that it's you doing it, and you forget the process of making it, and you just get sort of caught up in it. And I got totally caught up in it the first time I watched it. Even seeing yourself as a severed head, I was transported.